I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Well, I haven't seen this for a while, but for the first time in many years, I'm starting to see realtor bonuses, commission bonuses, being paid on Vancouver pre-sale units. Now, if you've been watching my blog here for a while, you know that for the past year and a half here, I have been advising people to be careful with pre-sales. As a matter of fact, I've been advising really to stay away from the pre-sales in downtown Vancouver until further notice, for the simple reason that I just think that the prices at where they're selling these units at, and the fact that you've got 5% GST on top of it, and they're not going to be built for 2, 3, 4 years down the road, there are just simply better deals in the tangible market, in the resale market. Because remember, I'm sure many of these projects will be fine when they're complete. Most of them, although some of them, if you've been watching my older blogs on it, I'm not a big fan of some of the locations that some of these pre-sales are going in on. They're what we call remnant lots, hugging up on bridges or off-ramps or on extremely busy intersections. Go back and watch some of my older blogs on that. But many of them will be fine when they're built, but a deal is only as good as what is available in the tangible market. So it might be a great unit, but before you put the money down on a pre-sale, I always recommend, and with my clients, you always have a very good look at what's out there in the tangible market and compare. And in my opinion, it's not even close. I can get a far better unit for my clients in the resale market than you can buy at a pre-sale. So let me just give you guys a couple of examples here. So these are a couple of emails I've been getting inundated here the last 2 or 3 weeks from these. And one of them I've talked about several times in the past. This is the 2nd and Main development, right at the corner of 2nd and Main. Now, if you watch some of my earlier blogs on this complex, I've said I'm not a big fan of it. First off, I don't think you could get a busier intersection if you tried. We're talking 20, 21 hours a day, 7 days a week of very heavy traffic and noise. You know, beside where this development, it is light industrial. It's not what you would call a warm neighborhood vibe to it. Let's face it. Listen, many areas in Mount Pleasant I like. Don't get me wrong. I own units in Mount Pleasant. But at 2nd and Main, it's awfully busy on that corner. You've got a auto repair shop next door. Across the street, you've got a Shell gas station. Kitty corner, you've got a Mr. Lube. And just across the other side of the street, you've got a propane and another light mechanic operation going on. So 2nd and Main is not my favorite location. But here's a couple of emails. I've been getting these the last couple of weeks. I had heard that they were selling these pretty brisk, but maybe not, because now they're offering realtor bonuses to bring some buyers on these units. But people should have a look at the prices on some of these units too. And I blogged about this a few times in the past here, saying that for downtown Vancouver and the surrounding areas, there is no cavalry or white knight on the way. The cost of the land now is so expensive, especially in the downtown core, that everything is going to be priced at $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a square foot and up, and which I'll get to in a minute here. Even around the peripheral areas like Mount Pleasant, these units are going to be expensive. But just let me give you an idea of how expensive we're talking about. So this is 2nd and Main. They haven't even put a shovel in the ground yet. This will be still 3 years away before you're moving into this. Studio apartments, 389 square feet. For starting at $552,000 plus GST and PTT. So let's call that just over $600,000 for a studio. 1 bedrooms, urban 1 bedrooms, 480 square feet. That's still a studio. Starting at $619 plus GST. They've got some what they call urban 2 bedrooms here that are 598 square feet, 2 bedroom. That's almost really just a small 1 bedroom in my opinion. Those start at $824 plus GST. And the standard 2 bedrooms, which run 770 up to 900 square feet, those are starting at just under $1 million up to $1.3 million plus GST. So these are not cheap. Now let me just give people an idea of where the prices have gone here. I blogged about it just over 2 years ago. I was buying, the pre-sale window opens and closes. Right now it's closed. 2.5, 3 years ago it was open. Not only was I buying for myself, but I was also getting my clients into these units. Just so that people realize what the prices have done. Just 1 block down from Main and 2nd, at Ontario in second. Better location because it's not on Main Street. I blogged about it. I bought several investment units and got clients into this particular building, built by Bastion. They sold these pre-sale, but the building was 95% complete. You could buy these and move in 3 months later. This was in October of 2015, November of 2015, so just over 2 years ago. You could buy these one bedrooms for $368,000. That was for 505 square feet with a balcony, no parking. You could buy one bedrooms with parking for $420,000. This is just over 2 years ago, folks. Those units now on the resale market, people are selling them, are selling between $600,000 and $650,000. And this proves it because that's the going rate. Third and second in Main here is selling studio apartments for $600,000 that are actually small, much smaller than these ones in Ontario. So that shows you where the prices have gone here. The time to buy these type of units was a couple years ago, but listen, I think at that price, it's getting a little too rich. There are better deals to be had. As a matter of fact, for $600,000, you're not going to move into it for 3 years. At second in Main. For that price, I'm not going to give you the building because I've got buyers that I want to buy in on this building again, but a prime West End building, 7 years old, high-end building, concierge, marble all over the place, Liebherr fridges, Miele appliances, 560 square feet in the West End on a quiet street for $580,000. I just sold in November. That doesn't have these ones at second in Main don't have a scratch on these. So these units are 20% cheaper tangible. I'm not sure why you would be buying something at this price and waiting 3 years to move into it. But the other thing I wanted to tell you was realtor bonuses. They're offering now to us realtors who do work in the area a increased commission rate of 3% flat, and they're also offering a $10,000 bonus on top of it. So tells you they got a better profit margin still built in there, but it also tells you that maybe these aren't selling as well as they thought, and now they're trying to entice realtors to bring buyers along by offering them bonuses. Realtor bonuses, they've been around for ages, haven't seen them very much in the last 3 or 4 years. Go back to some blogs I was doing in late 2012, 2013. That was kind of the last time that realtor bonuses were being thrown out. A realtor has to disclose to his client if he's getting a bonus. How do you feel about that? Bringing your clients into a unit, oh, by the way, you should buy it, and by the way, they're going to give me another $10,000 on top of my already handsome commission. So I blogged about it 5, 6 years ago saying that I would give that bonus commission to my buyers, which I would if they really wanted to buy into that building. But again, there's better deals in the tangible market. Another one I'll just show you quickly is another one I've been getting inundated with called the Pacific. Prime location. Now this is a good location. It's on Pacific, just outside the West End, between West End and Yaletown. This is going to be a very high-end luxury building, very high-end. They're starting the pre-sales on it. Just let me give you an idea, just so you know the prices here. And again, this is what the prices are going to be moving forward on a lot of the condos going up in downtown Vancouver. I blogged about it before. The land now is getting so expensive that developers are not going to waste their time in building anything but ultra luxury, starting at $1,500 a square foot and up. So it's why I've always told many of my young clients, try and get a piece of downtown Vancouver while the getting's good. Because the new product that's going to be coming online here over the next 5, 10 years is all going to be priced ultra luxury, $15,000, $2,000 and over per square foot. Give you an example on this. One bedrooms from 564 square feet. This is going to be a low floor. This is going to be a 40-story building, starting from $890 plus GST and PTT. So let's call it $1 million for a low floor, one bedroom, 564 square feet. Two bedrooms from 884 square feet, starting at $1.5 million plus GST and PTT. So add another 100K on top of that. 3 bedrooms, 1,200 square feet, starting at $3 million. This is what the prices are going to be, folks, moving forward downtown. There's probably 8 or 9 luxury buildings like this that are getting ready to pre-sale later this year. The prices are all like this. Now, realtor bonus time on these two. These have been on the market for about 6 or 7 weeks now. Now I've been getting inundated with emails. They're offering me a $50,000 bonus on top of my regular commission. So if I want to sell a 2-bedroom in this unit, in this building, pre-sale, they're going to give me a cool $100,000. Who says realtors don't make big bucks? Especially when you're getting those kind of bonuses. But that's where the prices are at here. So we'll see where this goes. Now, if you go onto a website like Buzz Homes or buzzbuzzhomes.com, they've got a map there, and that will show you all the new buildings that are getting ready to be put up in downtown Vancouver, the ones that are getting ready to get into the pre-sale stages. And there's probably at least 10 or 12 luxury buildings going up in the West End, Cole Harbour, Yaletown, but mostly a lot of them going up in the West End over the next 3 or 4 years. And all of these are priced like this Pacific here. And I have to wonder, you know, maybe we might see a glut in some of these luxury units, because I don't know if there's enough buyers to go around for these 2, 3, 4. I mean, many of these buildings are going to have $10 million units in them. We'll see. Although the developers are pretty smart. They tend to trickle in supply, and they bandy together and say, developer A, you're going to relaunch your complex in May. I'll give you a couple of months, and then I'll launch mine in June. They'll kind of stagger them around. They'll talk amongst each other and try and stagger out the pre-sale times on them. That way you don't get a glut of them all hitting the market at the same time. But it'll be interesting to see a lot of high-end luxury buildings. Some of the towers that are going to be built are spectacular. The architecture on some of these is amazing. Finally, they're getting away from some of the cookie-cutter floor-to-ceiling glass stuff that they've been building for so many years here. But so they are going to be architecturally quite different. But again, we're talking $1,500, $2,000, well over $2,000 a square foot. So we'll see where it goes. But again, they're giving bonuses on these things. That's kind of a sign that maybe they're not moving as quick as they thought. And they need to start incentivizing the realtors to bring us buyers. So we'll see where it goes. I'll give you guys a further update on some of these later this year. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.